everyone, and welcome to my channel, Let's Talk OT with Christy. I am Christy and I am a Doctor of Occupational Therapy student. In today's video, we're going to be going over the Cognitive Disabilities Model, Allen's Cognitive Levels, and Allen's Cognitive Levels Screening. Hello everyone, in today's presentation, we're going to be going over the Cognitive Disabilities Model, Allen's Cognitive Levels, and Allen's Cognitive Levels Screening. Again, welcome. In this video outline, we're going to be defining and discussing the Cognitive Disabilities Model, to define and discuss the Allen's Cognitive Levels, and to define and discuss Allen's Cognitive Levels Screening. The takeaways of this video is to learn about the Cognitive Disabilities Model, to learn about Allen's Cognitive Levels, and to learn about Allen's Cognitive Levels Screening. Now let's begin with talking about the Cognitive Disabilities Model, which is also known as the CDM. The Cognitive Disabilities Model first began at the Eastern Pennsylvania Psychiatric Institute in the late 1960s. The Cognitive Disabilities Model was first discovered by Claudia K. Allen, along with a few of her colleagues. The Cognitive Disabilities Model and assessments are currently being used in mental health, forensic psychiatry, rehabilitation medicine, and geriatric care. The Cognitive Disability Model utilizes the skills the individual already has and therefore follows the Allen scale, such as levels of ability of people with IDD. It also uses compensatory strategies and modifications to the person's environment to support their participation in occupations. Now let's talk about the Allen's Cognitive Levels, which is also known as ACL. Beginning with Allen's Cognitive Level of 0. An ACL of 0 to 0.6, the person is going to present in a coma. With an ACL of 0.8, the person is going to present with generalized reflexive actions. Therefore, some strategies to utilize in a session are going to be to brush against the limbs with a feather or a cotton ball. Therefore, you can grab a cotton ball and brush against the person's face, such as their forehead, their cheeks, their nose, their chin. You can also take that cotton ball and brush against their arms, their hands, their fingers, all the way down to their legs, to their feet, and their toes. That way that they feel that stimulus and they're able to respond with at least that generalized reflexive action. With an Allen's Cognitive Level of 1, which is also can be presented as automatic actions, with an ACL of 1.0, the person is going to present with withdrawing from a noxious stimuli. With an ACL of 1.2, the person is going to present with responding to a stimuli with one sensory system. With an ACL of 1.4, the person is going to present with locating a stimuli. With an ACL of 1.6, the person is going to present with rolling in bed. And with an ACL of 1.8, the person is going to present with raising a body part. Therefore, some strategies to incorporate into a session are going to be reaching, providing verbal, visual, and/or hand-over-hand assist, such as providing that verbal cueing, such as, can you point out what that color is to me? Or can you respond to this light? Therefore, there are these toy things that you can purchase, and they're like little buzzards and they have different color lights, and you can have the person respond to that by tapping on it, or you can have them reach for an object such as a ball and have them work on raising those body parts. So therefore, these are just some strategies to incorporate into a session to work on these automatic actions for someone who has been presenting with an ACL level of 1. With an ACL level of 2, which is going to be presented with postural actions. Therefore, with an ACL of 2.0, the person is going to be presenting by overcoming gravity and sitting. With an ACL of 2.2, the person is going to be presenting with writing reactions and/or standing. With an ACL of 2.4, the person is going to present with aimless walking. With an ACL of 2.6, the person is going to present with directed walking. And with an ACL of 2.8, the person is going to present using grab bars. Therefore, some strategies to incorporate into a session are going to be having the person sit upright with or without assist or supports, and or standing with or without assist or supports, and having them perform an activity. With an ACL level of 3, which can also be presented with as manual actions, an ACL level of 3.0, the person's going to present with grasping objects. With an ACL of 3.2, the person's going to present with distinguishing objects. With an ACL of 3.4, the person's going to present with sustaining actions on objects. And with an ACL of 3.6, the person's going to present with noting effects on the objects. And with an ACL of 3.8, the person is going to present by using all of the objects. Therefore, to work on some strategies in a session, you can incorporate activities that involve grasping, reaching, placing of objects, and locating of objects. With an ACL level of 4, the person is going to present with goal-directed actions. Therefore, an ACL level of 4.0, the person is going to present with sequencing familiar actions. With an ACL of 4.2, the person is going to present with differentiating features of objects. With an ACL of 4.4, the person is going to present with completing a goal. With an ACL of 4.6, the person is going to present with personalizing features of objects. And with an ACL of 4.8, the person is going to present with learning by rote memorization. Therefore, some strategies to incorporate into a session are light meal prepping, such as making a sandwich. This works on that sequencing of what goes first of the ingredients, such as you have the bread, you have your choice of condiments, such as mayonnaise, ketchup, and then you have your meats, and then your vegetables, and then you have the bread again. So working on that sequencing of making a sandwich, also differentiating between the ingredients and personalizing it. This allows them to complete that goal and then allows them to work on that skill of making a sandwich automatically the next time. With an ACL level of 5, the person is going to present with exploratory actions. Therefore, with an ACL level of 5.0, the person is going to present with comparing and changing variations in actions and objects. With an ACL of 5.2, the person is going to present with discriminating among sets of actions and objects. With an ACL of 5.4, a person is going to present with self-directed learning. With an ACL of 5.6, a person is going to present with considering social standards. And with an ACL of 5.8, the person is going to present to be consulting with others. Therefore, some strategies to incorporate into a session could be a STEM activity, such as involving science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, such as building, sorting, creating, and problem solving. With an ACL level of 6, the person is going to present with planned actions. So at this level, the person is typically functioning with an adult brain and functional cognitive capacities. Therefore, some strategies to incorporate into a session to work on this is moderate or heavy meal prepping, such as having multiple steps, multiple ingredients incorporated, shopping, money management, and/or employment. Now let's talk about the Allen's Cognitive Levels Screening. The Allen's Cognitive Levels Screening is an evidence-based standardized screening assessment. It measures the person's learning and problem-solving abilities, such as an estimate of global functional capacity, and it takes approximately 15 to 30 minutes to administer. It's administered by an occupational therapist and/or other healthcare professionals. The Allen's Cognitive Level Screening consists of the running stitch, the whip stitch, and a single Cordovan stitch. Now, there are different types and forms of the Allen's Cognitive Level Screening, such as a standard one, a large one for someone who may present with vision and/or hand deficits, and a disposal one to help with infection control. This concludes the presentation on the Cognitive Disabilities Model, the Allen's Cognitive Levels, and the Allen's Cognitive Level Screening. These are the references that were utilized in this presentation. Thank you.